What's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMGWTFLOLFWBRB. First thing I want to talk about, I apologize for how the video looks. I'm recording it right now, and it looks a little different, fuzzier. My apologies. Another thing I want to apologize for real quick is for this video being late. This is going to be the second installment of my Sunday vlog, whatever you want to call them, series. Um, and it is currently Tuesday. Actually, it's past Monday, but let's just pretend it's Monday. It's close enough. And there's reasons why this was late. In fact, it's mainly this reason. My headphones. I had work on Saturday, and the way I have a wireless headphone, so it has a USB plug-in for it that is for the headphones, and I forgot that at work, so I wasn't able to record, and that is why. I hope this is recording as well. I didn't do a test recording, so hopefully the audio is not messed up, or I'm gonna do a re-record. But yeah, I this vlog is mainly gonna be about this vlog, and probably this whole series is mainly gonna be about what happened for wrestling related stuff for this entire week. So we're gonna be talking about Monday Night Raw, TNA, Impact Wrestling, ROH, anything major wrestling that went on, along with anything else in my during my let's try that again. Anything else during the week that happened in my life as well that I'm going to talk to you guys about. Anything I feel like bringing up. Before I get to the topics, because I have like a whole list for Word that I've been working on that whole week, I do want to talk about some things. One, I'm not going to be talking about tonight's Monday Night Raw or Monday's Raw from this week. I'm going to save that for this coming vlog video. So this is going to be basically everything from last week. I know I was late, but still. Another thing, I also want to apologize if I come off a little bitchy or pissy. Today was actually a pretty bad day. I recently learned someone hacked into my bank account and used practically all my money to purchase Steam games, so I hope it wasn't any of you, not accusing anybody. But yeah, that would be the reason why I'm not really my giddy self, but I don't feel like you guys are going to really see that because I adore you guys, and this is different. I wanted to make this. I calmed myself down, so that's why I think it's going to be a little different. So the first topic I want to talk about real quick is kind of like a shout out, basically to a good friend of mine. Some of you may be subscribed to him, maybe not. He's better known as the Raging Yoshi. I call him as Tim. If you guys aren't subscribed to the Raging Yoshi, I'm not going to tell you to go subscribe to him. That's completely your own choice, but go check him out. There should be a link in the description to the video I'm going to be talking about, so go check him out, or if you don't like that game that he's playing that I'm going to be talking about, check out any of his games. I personally feel he's a great YouTuber. I wouldn't suggest anybody that I personally don't watch, and I do personally watch all of, not all, but majority of Tim's videos, aka Raging Yoshi. And the thing I want to talk about real quick is he recently just started his newest Let's Plays, but the one I'm going to talk about is Kingdom Hearts 2.5. And I'm sorry if you see my eyes kind of do this. It's me looking at the Microsoft Word document. Yeah, but he recently started Kingdom Hearts 2.5. He also has done Kingdom Hearts 1.5, the first Kingdom Hearts as well, and the original Kingdom Hearts 2. And I assume he's going to be doing a lot more Kingdom Hearts. So if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, he's the right guy to go to. Just check out that Kingdom Hearts. If you want to give him a shot, go right ahead. If you don't want to wait for him to upload, like I said, he's already finished part 1 and 2 before, so you can go watch those. But if you want to see the extra stuff that comes in 1.5 and 2.5, well, 1.5 is finished, so you can go watch that anyway. And 2.5 he's currently doing. So give him a check out. You never know, nerds and geeks. Maybe you'll find someone that you like. The next thing I want to talk about, it's not wrestling related still. It's actually a new game that I purchased this past week, and I might be doing some of it on my YouTube channel. I'm not 100% sure yet, just because it doesn't really have a lot of content to it, so I'm not sure how well of a videos I can make about it, but who knows. It was made by the same creator of the Total Extreme Wrestling series, so Adam Ryland created this game, and it's the first of them all, I believe, as well. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive it's the first of its kind, unlike Total Extreme Wrestling 2013, which I believe there's 2, maybe 3 different versions of that game before 2013. So this is the first one. It's kind of like a superhero simulator. I know, weird, but it's like a superhero simulator. That's all I can describe it. The game is called Comic Book Hero: The Great Escape. If any of you have heard of it and would like to see me do a series on it, feel free to comment below. Let me know. If any of you are interested in seeing what the game is like, I will most likely do a one-off video to see whether you guys are interested in the subject or not, kind of like I did with Total Extreme Wrestling. And if you guys don't want to wait for me to eventually do something like that, then there are videos on YouTube about it you can look up, or you can download the demo for yourself and try it out. This was not on my list, but I just thought about this and before because everything else is wrestling. I kind of wanted to just get everything that's not wrestling out of the way. One last thing, consisting with my channel, we did restart the schedule. So Shut Your Mouth recently was uploaded. We had 2 episodes last week. I didn't upload any Smash Brothers because I didn't hear any feedback from you guys, and I'm assuming none of you really care or didn't care enough to comment. No offense. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm picking on you. I'm just stating a fact here. So I'm most likely going to just put my favorite music from the Smash Brothers series in the Smash Bros. Unless you guys have anything, any objections against that, then let me know. But I didn't hear anything from you guys last week, and I decided I was going to wait a week just in case someone wanted to. And I didn't get any comments, so I'm going to go ahead probably and just put my favorite music in. Like I said, if you guys have any objections, feel free to comment below here or on the Smash Brothers videos as well. So let's talk about wrestling, nerds and geeks. This is what most of my subscribers come for, and I feel like the Sunday vlog is going to be mostly me giving my opinions on what's happening in wrestling and what happened. So we're first going to talk about Monday Night Raw, and we're pretty much just going to be going through the entire list of wrestling stuff from Monday all the way to the end of the week. So we're talking about Raw from February 2nd, not the 9th, which was yesterday/today, but the 2nd. So this is last week's Monday Night Raw. So when I talk about wrestling, I'm not going to be talking about the whole show. I'm going to be talking about things that I personally enjoyed, things that I caught, and I want to talk about. So the first thing about Monday Night Raw that I wanted to talk about was Ryback taking on Luke Harper. I'm going to be kind of recommending kind of matches to you in a way, not really, not recommending, but telling you guys what I viewed as the better matches on the card that night. Ryback and Luke Harper put on a great match, as did Ziggler and Wyatt, and Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins, excuse me. So if you want to go back and watch Monday Night Raw, I would say give Ryback, Harper, Ziggler, Wyatt, and Bryan and Seth Rollins a good look at, because all 3 of those matches were great, if you ask me. Other things that happened on Monday Night Raw that I really kind of enjoyed or caught interest of. Stardust got called Cody by Goldust, and Stardust kind of got angry and was like, "Don't call me Cody." So I guess that means we're going to be getting the Stardust Goldust feud, or Cody Rhodes Goldust feud that we never got. Some people are saying it's too late. I'm really excited about this. I kind of want to see Cody Rhodes stay as Stardust. I really do. I feel it's a great homage to Goldust, his brother, and we've seen Cody Rhodes knock things out of the park before. I mean, he doesn't have to stay as Stardust, but I think in this feud it should be Stardust versus Goldust, not Cody Rhodes versus Goldust, and I feel it'll be a good match. I really do. It could be Goldust's retirement match, who knows, and you could pass the torch to Stardust in a way. I just really think Stardust is a good character, and I would like to see him be more than a tag team competitor, and I don't want to just see Cody Rhodes come back, you know. I'd like to see a story made out of that, and if they do that, that would be great. Another thing, the end of Mizdow. It seems that Miz and Mizdow are no longer an item or a team. Miz officially fired Mizdow from being his stunt double after a fan or some guy came up to Mizdow and asked him for an autograph instead of Miz. He did hire Mizdow as his personal assistant or something like that. It all seems that it's going to be Miz and Mizdow at WrestleMania. If they do it at Fastlane, huge mistake. It should be WrestleMania. Ambrose got some bad news. Dean Ambrose, as we all know, probably my favorite personal wrestler in the W right now. In fact, let me just show. I'm wearing his hoodie, so he's probably my favorite active wrestler. Triple H is still my favorite wrestler, but I love Dean Ambrose. Been following him since he was Jon Moxley down in CZW. But it seems like Ambrose's WrestleMania opponent has been revealed, and it's going to be him and Bad News Barrett. I kind of feel like it's a step down for Dean Ambrose. He was feuding with top talents, and Barrett really hasn't been doing much of anything. I mean, he kind of came back and got the Intercontinental title back, but really hasn't really brought back what he had before he got injured. Maybe Ambrose can do that for him if they give them an actual feud, because I think they can knock this feud away. But I'll be honest, even as a Dean Ambrose fan, I'm not really excited for this feud because of just how Barrett's been handled. If Barrett was handled better, this would be a great feud. But to me, it kind of seems like a throwaway and just a way to get Ambrose on the WrestleMania card, and which is great. He's on the card, and he's most likely going to become Intercontinental Champion. But who cares, right? Bryan did take on Seth Rollins, and the match had implications or consequences. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it had basically something on the line in the match. Bryan took on Seth Rollins. Whoever won that match would go on to face Roman Reigns at the upcoming Fastlane pay-per-view for basically Reigns' spot against Lesnar. So since Bryan defeated Seth Rollins, we're going to have Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns at Fastlane. I haven't watched Raw yet, so I don't know what happened, but I'm excited about that match. I really think it's going to be a great match, and I think Bryan can get Reigns ready for his Lesnar match. And I think that's going to be a great match, Nerds and Geeks. I'm really excited about that match. Next up, I want to talk about, we had the Stone Cold podcast with Triple H. You didn't really miss much on that podcast. I felt like Vince McMahon's podcast was a lot better. Triple H kind of seemed like he was not really answering any questions. And the questions he did answer was kind of like, I already knew that. The one thing that did come up to me that I think everyone caught eye of was the mention of China eventually possibly going into the Hall of Fame. I know Vince Russo, from what I read, made a whole rant video on that, basically kind of tearing Triple H apart. Triple H didn't say anything bad. In fact, what he said, I felt like he put China over. So as for China going to the Hall of Fame, Triple H said, never say never, basically. So it seems like something you can miss, but as a Triple H fan like me, you might want to check it out. I know I said I was going to talk about mostly wrestling from the next, but I missed this part when I was looking over my list, so might as well talk about it now. The Death Battle came out this week. I'm not sure if any of you like Death Battle. It's a Screw Attack original. I personally love the series. It's a sprite battles, basically, animated battles of fictional characters from Superman and Goku. That's their most popular one, battling each other, and they analyze them to see who would win, basically, in a death battle. And the recent one released was Toph from the Avatar series, the Earthbender, Blind Earthbender, and Gaara from the Naruto series. It was a good battle, very controversial. From what I hear, a lot of people are standing up for Gaara, saying he should have won. I think Gaara should have won as well, but honestly, I trust the death battle. I trust Boomstick and Wiz enough to believe their analysis, but who knows? I mean, it's just an animated battle, so I'm not mad about it. It was a great battle, and if you guys would like to watch it, go right ahead. I would suggest watching it. It was a good battle, but if you're a fan of Gaara, spoiler report, he loses, and you might not like it, and you might get butthurt like most fans are, so yeah. Next up, I'm going to be talking about Lucha Underground. I'm not sure if many of you know what Lucha Underground is. If you do, that's great, because I love it, and actually, John Olympian, a.k.a. my best friend Johnny's favorite wrestling company at this moment. Lucha Underground is what it is. It's a lucha wrestling company. It airs on the El Rey network. I watch it on a wrestling website called watchwrestling.che. That's actually where I watch most of my wrestling. Lucha Underground, I don't have much to talk about. Only really 4 things, and even the 4th thing on here I didn't even mention. Son of Havoc put on a great match against Angelico. Drago had a great match against Aerostar, and Cage put on a fantastic match against Johnny Mundo, who you guys may know better as John Morrison or Johnny Nitro. If you don't watch Lucha Underground, I would highly recommend it. It's great, fast-paced action, and it really tells a story. It's a lot better like storytelling than WWE, if you ask. It's a little bit more cinematic, though. I will say that if you like realism, Lucha Underground may not be your thing because it's like a movie, if you ask me. The last thing about Lucha Underground that I kind of want to talk about is we did get to see the sort of kind of debut of Alberto El Patron, who many of you may know as Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio Patron works for ROH at this moment as well, and he, I believe, currently is going to be taking on Jay Lethal at the anniversary show. We'll talk about that a little bit. But he made his debut at the end of the show by interrupting Dario Cueto, who is the Vince McMahon of that company, basically. And it was a really great moment. It was probably my favorite moment of the night because, and it's weird because I've never been a Del Rio fan, but ever since he left WWE, I feel like I kind of liked him a little bit more. Maybe it's just because he never fit in the WWE mold, but he fits in ROH and he fits in Lucha Underground. But it was just awesome seeing him in Lucha Underground. It really was. Next thing I want to talk about, which is kind of funny because it's NXT. There are 2 matches I want to talk about on NXT, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what the matches were. First, we had Baron Corbin versus Adrian Neville. I titled this Corbin's First Challenge. It was a good match. We got to see Corbin's weak spots. We got to see his strong spots. With improvement in time, Baron Corbin will be a star. Mark my words. I guarantee it. I really do. And I'm putting a lot on the line by guaranteeing this, but I really feel Baron Corbin is going to be a star in the WWE. Mark my words, nerds and geeks. He did lose his first match ever. Not really. He's lost matches on NXT before because I've seen him. But he lost his first match since being this big Baron Corbin, actually debuted guy, not just kind of a jobber. He's lost tag team matches from what I can remember, if anyone wants to know. But he lost his first singles match from what I've seen to Adrian Neville. Not a bad person to lose to. I mean, he's, I believe, the longest reigning, maybe second longest reigning NXT champion. I'm not sure if he beat Bo Dallas or not. They didn't really make a big deal of it. Neville beat Corbin. He will move on in the tournament to decide who's going to be the number 1 contender for the NXT title to take on the winner of Itami and Balor, who we'll get to in a couple of seconds. Corbin was kind of screwed out of the match by Bull Dempsey when he pushed him into the steel post because it did seem like Corbin was going to win. So we are going to get to see Corbin and Dempsey in a no DQ match, which I hope is going to go longer because unfortunately, not unfortunately, but sadly, Bull Dempsey's been made to look like a fool. And I might be a big Baron Corbin smart at this moment because I personally like the guy. But I like Bull Dempsey too. And I've been hoping to see a little bit, more out of Bull Dempsey in his matches against Corbin, not just wrecked. So I'm excited for this no DQ match between the two. Let's get to the Hideo Itami Finn Balor match before I talk about the other thing I want to talk about. Itami and Balor had a fantastic match, if you ask everybody else. In my opinion, it wasn't as great as everybody's made it, but it was definitely a great match. Don't get me wrong. I've just seen Prince Devitt and Kenta fight before Itami and Balor. So I've seen Devitt and Kenta put on fantastic matches. So what they put on in NXT was a great match for WWE, but for those two, I personally know they can put on better. But it was a great match. That was also part of the number 1 contendership, basically, tournament. So we now know next week at NXT TakeOver Rival that we're going to have Adrian Neville take on Finn Balor. I'm not sure if Pac ever took on Prince Devitt in the independent scene. So I've personally never seen Finn Balor or Prince Devitt, call him what you want, take on Adrian Neville or Pac. So I'm excited for that match, as am I excited for Hideo Itami versus Tyler Breeze, which I learned about today, because Tyler Breeze is probably my favorite wrestler on NXT, minus Baron Corbin, if that makes sense. I forgot to include Baron Corbin. I don't know. Let's move on, though. Next thing I want to talk about is Ring of Honor, ROH. You can watch ROH. By the way, you can watch NXT on the WWE Network, Watch Wrestling, all that website I gave you earlier. I didn't feel like I needed to mention that. ROH, on the other hand, I know it airs on TVs somewhere, but I don't know where. You can watch it on their website, ROH Wrestling, but you have to catch it before their next show comes out. Because, if you miss that week and their next week's show comes out, you can't watch it now. You have to go to my website to watch it, but you can, but you're not going to be able to watch it on their website, or you can go to that other website I mentioned. Either way, they've been doing the Top Prospect tournament recently, and honestly, a lot of the matches in that Top Prospect tournament were all right, but none of them scream, that guy's a star in the making to me. Until I saw the 2 superstars this week, or last week, because ROH has been super late. So the ROH I'm actually talking about is not the 7th. It's January 31st. I just want you guys to know that. Because for some reason ROH does not upload their videos until Wednesday of the last... You know what I'm saying? So this video wasn't uploaded until the 4th of February. So that's why I'm talking about it now. I have not seen Saturday, February 7th ROH yet. I'm going to be talking about that next Sunday. So ROH are always going to be behind. I just want you to know, because ROH's fault. But anyway, this was the Top Prospect thing, and like I said, I didn't really see anybody that caught my eye before, but these 2 caught my eye. We had Ashley Six take on Dalton Castle, and I can't explain them. Ashley Six has had a presence to him. So did Dalton Castle. They both had something special to them, and I would be surprised if ROH didn't offer. Well, actually, they kind of already offered Ashley Six a contest. I honestly feel like Ashley Six is going to win the whole thing. I do. He eventually defeated Dalton Castle, which I was kind of surprised by. But he defeated Dalton Castle. I think Ashley Six is going to go and win the whole thing and go on to be a member of ROH. And I also honestly feel like Dalton Castle will find his way in there, or maybe somewhere in not Lucha Underground, no, but Impact Wrestling maybe. I can't see him working for WWE. But Dalton Castle had something special with him too. I just want to point those two guys out right now. Ashley Six, Dalton Castle. If you haven't seen them yet, look them up. I personally think they're great. And I don't have much to talk about with ROH because there's not much that goes on in ROH. We also had Jay Lethal versus Matt Sydal, better known as Evan Bourne, versus ACH. And this was for Jay Lethal's, ROH like TV title, I think it's called. It's like the mid-card title. Jay Lethal's gold, by the way. He's perfect. And I mentioned before that he will be taking on Alberto El Patron, a.k.a. Alberto Del Rio, at the anniversary show, which means a lot and says a lot for ROH to give Jay Lethal El Patron's first major rivalry. So I think that's a great sign for Jay Lethal, to be honest. And I honestly feel like Jay Lethal's going to be world champion at one point. But that triple threat match between him, Matt Sydal, and ACH, fantastic. Honestly, I'd say it was the best match of this week. I really would. A lot of people might say a Tommy and Baller, but I feel because I've seen better from them, it's not the best match of the week. It just brings it down for me. And Lethal, Sydal, and ACH put on a fantastic matchup, Nerds and Geeks. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend seeing that. And Lethal did retain his title. He's still TV champ. So from what I understand, his match against Alberto El Patron at the 13th anniversary show will be for that title. And to end off the vlog, we're going to talk about Impact Wrestling, which now airs on Destination America. They remind you enough. So Impact Wrestling has actually been doing pretty well, if you ask me, since moving to Destination America. I've never been an Impact Wrestling fan, but so far they've kept me in. I blame EC3 and Rockstar Spud, though, because I love both Ethan Carter III and Rockstar Spud. But I don't have a lot to talk about with Impact Wrestling just because, honestly, there wasn't a lot this week that I really enjoyed. We had Lockdown this week, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a pay-per-view, or it's just, a special thing Destination America did, and it's no longer a pay-per-view. I have no idea. But Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys, teamed up to take on the Revolution, which is James Storm and Abyss for the tag team titles. And the Revolution did win, but it's not really the match I want to talk about, because the match was okay, but it wasn't great. It's actually Jeff Hardy's bump, and I think we've all heard about that bump already because we've seen it by now. At least I hope you guys. Basically what happened is Hardy, crotch first on, I'm going to do a thing. He was crotch first like this on the steel cage door, and James Storm hit him in the back of the head with a cowbell, and Hardy basically did a front flip, front flip, off steel cage's door and onto steel steps. So it was a sick bump, but it's only a bump that Jeff Hardy could do, so it was awesome. It was awesome. I will say that. We had Awesome Kong versus Havoc, and this is actually the only Divas match I have on this list, I just realized. So we did have Awesome Kong versus Havoc. That's no pun intended, but it was awesome. I feel like it was a great match. I mean, I don't know much about Havoc, and I know a lot of people don't buy into Havoc. I don't buy into her, but I don't not buy into her either. I just don't know her that well, But I will say that when Awesome Kong returned, I got goosebumps, and I was looking forward to this match against Havoc, because I didn't even know who she was, but they were both big women, and I was looking forward to it. And Awesome Kong and Havoc did put on not a great match, but a good match. I enjoyed it. And it was definitely better than the main event, because I didn't like the main event at all. And I didn't even like Eric Young and Bobby Roode's match, to be honest, either. There's really only two matches I liked, and that was Awesome Kong and Havoc, and Rockstar Spud and Mandrews taking on Tyrus, who you guys may know as Brodus Clay. That was a great match, and honestly, I think it was the best match on the card, and it might be because I'm biased for Rockstar Spud and EC3, but I liked it. I thought it was good. Rockstar Spud and Mandrews got the upset win. Did they? You know what? I am having a horrible memory loss. I don't really remember who won that match. I think Rockstar Spud and Mandrews won, but now that I look back, I think Tyrus won. Yeah, actually, I'm almost positive Tyrus won. And then, EC3 beat the No, he didn't. I don't remember. I'm not going to talk about it. I just remember the match was fun. And at one point, Rockstar Spud did a freaking front flip onto Tyrus, not laying down. Tyrus is standing up. Did a front flip off the top of the cage to a standing up Tyrus. I just thought that was incredible. There's a great week for wrestling. I enjoyed pretty much every show. The only show I really didn't enjoy that much was Impact Wrestling because, I mean, the main matches was Bobby Roode and Eric Young and the Beatdown Clan versus Team Angle, and they were boring to me. The best show of the week, I would have to give it to. I'd have to give it to ROH. Well, it's a mixture. It's either a tie between ROH and Lucha Underground. They both had really good shows this week. I don't watch SmackDown, just so anyone knows, so I won't be talking about SmackDown unless you guys really want me to. Then I could possibly try to start watching SmackDown. I don't watch Main Event. I don't watch Superstars. I don't watch any other things. I really only watch things that are on that website. So that's really about it. I know this is a 25-minute video, but thanks for sticking in with me, Nerds and Geeks. I'll try to shorten these vlogs down a little bit. No promises because there's a lot to talk about. I hope you guys stick in, and I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about this wrestling stuff. And I would like to hear your guys' opinions on what's happening in wrestling, and your opinions on anything else I've talked about. Whether you enjoyed Raging Yoshi's Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Let's Play, whether you want me to do that comic book game, whether you enjoyed the death battle between Toph and Gara, or you hated the death battle between Toph and Gara. Let me know what you thought about wrestling stuff. I want to hear your comments. I enjoy reading your comments, especially stuff on this, because this is the time where I get to sit down and talk to you. I know I'm not in my normal spot again. I'm in the garage, but it is like 12:30 right now, so I didn't want to keep everybody awake. Again, my apologies for this video running on so long. My name is OMG WTF LOLFTW BRB. Thanks for sticking around with me, Nerds and Geeks, and I'll see you next week on Sunday, hopefully. Hopefully nothing will make this video get pushed back, where we're going to be talking about wrestling again and whatever else happened during that week. Let me give you guys a quick little incentive to come back next Sunday and view. We are going to be talking about the Seth Rollins debacle that recently happened on Twitter with the leaked nude pictures. So I'm going to be talking about stuff like that next week, along with some other things as well. So hope to see you guys next week. Until then, my name is OMG WTF LOLFTW BRB, and I will see you guys later.